PCS Charity Showdown APAC region, Vietnam versus Thailand, 32 versus 32, Jordan. And as we said before, one of those for both 32s is our queen. That must be protected at all costs. Or if she wants, she can be aggressive and 5 kills. 5 points per kill, of course, if she elects to do so.
Honestly, we're already starting to see a bit of a difference in how these two teams are going to approach the game. You can see the Thai roster, the Thai team have kind of gone for 2 separate splits, 2 teams of 16, I suppose, whereas the Vietnamese squad, the Vietnamese gang have gone essentially all together in toward Pachinki at the moment, and they're sort of spreading a little bit further across the southern part of the map. But yeah, very interesting to see both different sort of analogies and ideas. And I guess for the Thai squad, when they do go for this kind of a strategy, they do need to kind of be careful that they don't get sort of overwhelmed in a way.
I think it's also fair to point out is, while there is a bit of competitive nature to this, it is also, I think, just a really nice, fun way to sort of kickstart PCS, something a little bit more lighthearted, Jordan. While there is that competitive drive, especially for those who are from Thailand and Vietnam, they're going to want to win this and have a bit of fun. And potentially also to be a bit of decent warm-up for the games to come after this. As we see Duckman on your screen, he's going to be the one that I know more than anyone, and I think that's fair considering what he's been able to achieve overseas. As we will be getting our first circle over the Gatka Fields, and gives us a nice little split of the overview between the teams from Thailand and Vietnam. And I will say, Jordan, right now, Vietnam very much centralized, whereas Thailand's spreading out.
Yeah, definitely. And I actually wonder, like in Pachinki, given there's so many players there from Vietnam, is there actually going to be enough loot for all of these guys? Like, I wonder if they've sort of increased the loot even further than normal.
I mean, you would think that they would have had to have increased the loot setting, right? Because you're right.
Surely.
Actually, no.
And not only that,
if you spread out well enough, I think it's fine.
Maybe.
Well, there'll probably be a lot of running on foot, I would imagine, or you'll have to really fill up those vehicles. You can't just take one for yourself, that's for sure. If you find a Darcy, you can't just take one and sort of let everyone else run. You got to fill it up. But yeah, the loot settings, obviously, I would imagine it might be comp settings. That's just a complete guess. But we'll see how that, of course, plays out to this in terms of this format. I only just remembered, but we did actually, for the Australian region, have a state of origin, which was about 2 years ago. And while it wasn't 32 versus 32, it was about 10v10 times 5. And it was actually quite interesting to play out towards the end, where high ground did in fact become very much what you wanted more than anything. You've got so many players that you're potentially looking at, 32 from Thailand. So for Vietnam, getting that high ground, you're going to have a much higher chance of being able to find those Thailand players around the map. Minute 27 or minute 24 now until we go into phase number 2, which is when I expect to probably see a bit more rotations come out. Looting's done now, Jordan. Now it's time to move around.
Already the Thai squad does seem to be a little bit more aggressive just in general than the Vietnamese roster. So I think when you're talking about moving around looking for some opponents to fight, it definitely seems like the Thai squad are keen on doing that.
Oh, he hits these.
Not bad. Not a bad couple of shots. Again, they're going to be very difficult to kind of flush early on in the piece when there's 32 players. You know, there's always going to be someone that's going to be looking for that res.
So there's Unicorn for Vietnam. The Queen has got Lynx and PNG Hung close by in the Gatka fields, still looting up. You definitely also probably want to feed gear to Unicorn. You find, I mean, I'm not sure, find a level 3 helmet, level 3 vest, all those sort of really big important items. You might as well just hand it over to her. Say, come over here, or you pick it up and bring it to her. 10 seconds till phase number 2. You can start to see Vietnam really spreading out over the Gatka fields, and Everest taking control, the center of this phase 1 circle. But now we go phase 2. Do we go north or south? Ooh, more central, more onto the Gatka fields. But fortunately for Thailand, Jordan, there's a contingency coming in from the south.
Yeah, there is. I mean, look at where DMG, right? He's so far away. You talk about contingencies, he may not even be able to get back into the circle. We'll see end up what ended up happening for him. But yeah, it's weird, really, isn't it, here for Thailand? Because if that sort of squad toward the south doesn't actually manage to get anything done, you know, if they get traded down effectively by the Vietnamese rosters, then could be very difficult, I think, for the Thai squads up towards the northern part of the map to come over Everest and get into the zone. But it's going to be important, I think, yeah, for these guys down here to the south that we're having a look at right now to actually get some good, solid work done. And they might just be able to do it as well if they can sort of catch the Vietnamese teams off guard.
Still no kills yet from either nation. Thanawat played, if I remember correctly, for Thailand in the Nations Cup. That was a while ago now. Shots towards Vietnam. But definitely, Jordan, it's going to be phase 3 where we really start to see the full firefights between these two nations take hold. The question is, obviously, numbers are going to matter. If you've got, say, a squad of 8 holding up a position, and then maybe 2 full squads of Vietnam come crashing in, it's going to be really hard to hold that compound if you don't have the numbers with you. Vietnam look like they've got 2 full squads here together versus just the 1 squad of Thailand. They push down. Thanawat finds a knockdown onto Nicky, though, as we come back to him. Just the 1 nade. I do wonder, though, nades are going to be a very impactful resource as well for this sort of exchange. Probably more so towards the end, though.
Well, I think for now, Vietnamese squads are actually taking a bit of a beating, and I do wonder how many medical supplies there are to go around. We've got a glider out in here as well. Love to see it. This is going to be great for scouting too. You know, I am really starting to draw some parallels between like real-life military warfare and this 32 versus 32 PUBG game, right? Because you have aerial superiority, which is going to be very important in gaining information.
Isn't he just going to get shot out of the sky, though, Jordan? If he flies anywhere remotely close to Vietnam, he's going to have like 10 people looking at him and firing.
Look, that's information in itself, Xenox.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you might die for it as well. Greedy having a shot for Vietnam. How much can how much take in that glider? I love to see it, though. It's certainly interesting, and as you said, the amount of information he's going to be able to find. Look at everything below. He can just literally call all of this out and say it's all free. That's insane. Especially if the circle continues to come down south. Thailand might be able to pinch Vietnam here in the Gakka fields. Back down to the ground troops, though. And in some way, Jordan, it feels like you've sort of got the Marines, you've got the Air Force. I wonder if at any point we might have some Navy coming in as well.
I'm not so sure we're going to get too much luck in that respect when we're sitting in Gatka fields, but perhaps something for, you know, like if, for example, we were on Sanok or something like that, where there's a lot of like, rivers through the middle of the map, you know, you have a naval squad as well. Could be interesting. I still got to say, though, I think the Vietnamese team have actually been pretty lucky with the way that the circle has shifted. I assume we'll get to have a look at the map fairly shortly, but it just does seem like they have got a really, really good control of like all of these premium compounds in the center of the circle. And it's Thailand that's going to have to cross this massive field to kind of try and get into that position. So unless the Thai players kind of frag out, I think the Vietnamese squad are going to win by virtue of the fact that they've gotten better positioning right now.
It's time to push up. It's time for some moments to arise. Just moments, though. Only walks inside to be met by JJ Leo's headshot. Knocks him down. Yonggao's got the nades for the entryman from Thailand. Scott is going to be knocked. Boston is not far behind either. And the ringing of the nades rings out at this compound in Gakka. Both sides are just throwing everything at this, literally and figuratively. And with the M249 on Gunsun Fair, that's going to make it so much easier for Thailand. They're literally, Jordan, just throwing numbers at this compound. That's how they're going to win it. And that's what I said before. If there's 8 people holding a compound, just throw 16 at it.
Exactly. They actually need to take some of these compounds, the Thai squad. And I really love the decisiveness that they pushed in there with. I mean, you've got Vietnam in control of chopsticks, but in reality, what does that matter when they're completely surrounded? And now we see the circle shift going back up to the north, right onto where the large majority, the large portion of the Thai team is. So this has actually worked out perfectly for Thailand.
they're like military strategy incarnate. What? They've completely pinched Vietnam. They've got the high ground towards Everest side. They got it from both sides now. And that initial push got them 4 kills to the 1. Only losing 1 player throughout that entire exchange, Jordan, which was ex-Scots. But the M249 did so much damage. Now we're about to see some more action here, but I don't think it's going to go the way of Vietnam if they pull up, which it looks like they're going to be able to only achieve here. There's nowhere else to go. Time to make their own push, see if they can wipe out any of the players from Thailand inside of the compound.
Unicorn.
And it looks like, again, though, it's still going...
Push as well.
It is just carnage. Vietnam are now throwing their weight behind this push. They're throwing the numbers here. Newey's... Oh, the Queen is in this push, Jordan. This could be disastrous for Thailand. If she goes down, the nade's thrown in, she runs out. 7-4-L1 got the damage. She sprays back and she does get a kill. She gets the knockdown. That'll be 5 extra points compared to the 1 point from a pawn. This might work out. Unicorn's here, though, for Vietnam as well. Newey's is knocked. She's knocked down. The Queen is down. Oh, Thailand, it was looking so good. Unicorn. Can she find some kills here, Jordan? The nade is thrown.
I think that Newey's is just about to get flushed fairly shortly. The rest of the Thai cavalry are starting to arrive, though, Xenox. Have a look at that mini-map. They are rolling in hot. The Vietnamese team are
Unicorn's
set up
down.
pretty powerfully.
Dead.
Unicorn is dead. But I think Newey's might be as well, although maybe the Thai roster has arrived just in time to save her. Holy cow, look at that kill feed.
They have come to the rescue. They didn't... I don't think Vietnam realized when Newey's was knocked down, and they have just literally done everything they can, Thailand, to get over to her as soon as they can. The quick revive, obviously part of this game mode, only 3 seconds for the revive. Thailand are slaughtering Vietnam. Literally, Jordan, this is just one-way traffic between these two teams. 20 kills now for Thailand, 27-11 remaining, and of course with Unicorn down, the Queen is down as well for Vietnam. The rest of them are all just huddled up in this house. This is ridiculous how one-sided this is. Thailand are going to just win this by an obliteration. This is
all you have to do is throw nades, and they are going to be absolutely cooked. There's going to be nowhere to go. Look, the fire's in there, and the Thai roster are just charging in as well. Like I said, I think the team damage is off here, so you just throw your mollies in, you throw your nades in, and you follow up with that by just throwing numbers at the enemy, and that is just utter decimation. Wow. 27-0 left alive, and I guess we know who won that one, Xenox.
Well, no question, no debate. Winner chicken dinner. It's certainly going to go the way of Thailand, both for the game and for the show match. There is no head count required.